Welcome to today's video. If you're frustrated with representatives who violate their oaths, misuse their power, and waste taxpayer dollars, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into why I'm justified in holding them accountable. Not only based on my personal experiences, but also through biblical principles. We'll explore how the U.S. military and the court system have negatively affected my life, when I stood with the Holy Bible while seeking restitution and justice from those who have abused the power of law. And that's why speaking boldly for Christ in these days is more crucial than ever. Let's kick things off with some theology from the Old Testament. In the book Numbers, chapter 5, verse 6 through 7, when Israelites wrong another, they must make restitution and add a fifth to what was taken. That's where my story begins. I've been wronged by those who swore to uphold justice, but instead violated their public oaths. They abused their power, and I refuse to continue to take this to a corrupted court system that's already proven complicit in these wrongs. Imagine trying to seek justice in a system that's rigged against you. The attacks weren't just against my flesh, they penetrated my spirit. My ex-mother-in-law manipulated my wife into cheating, and those sworn to protect the law refused witnesses' statements, my statement, and my right to face the accuser. These spiritual and personal attacks were calculated, and they took more than one person to carry out. If this sounds familiar, be sure to tap that subscribe button. Let's call out the abuse of power together and hold our representatives accountable. In my fight against injustice, it wasn't just about labels. It was a battle against a system willing to exploit and tear apart a Christian household. The military spirit, which should have stood for honor, was responsible for invading my home. Not in a form of defense for freedom, but to disrupt and destroy the bond I had with my family. When I sought justice through the courts, I didn't find truth and fairness. I found obstruction. My rights were trampled on. The judge told me she was no longer accepting my motions, and that's when they denied me access to court transcripts. I didn't face a justice system. It was a system designed to deny justice and make those who seek it feel powerless and abandoned. The wisdom I stand by is grounded in Proverbs 6, verse 32 through 35. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not accept any compensation. He will refuse a bribe, however great it is. Okay, remember, a bribe isn't just money. It's any appeasement meant to buy silence or compliance. Other scriptures support the idea that Christians don't have to remain silent when wronged. Yes, we forgive, but we are also justified in demanding repayment, including adding a fifth of value as restitution for harm caused. Now, I could have played tick for tack and violently responded with brute force and opposition against law enforcement, but I took up revenge with wisdom found in Proverbs 20:22. Do not say, I'll pay back wrong for wrong. Wait for the Lord, and He will avenge you. Christ wouldn't have gone to the cross if He hadn't stood up for the truth. And following Him means being willing to go to the cross ourselves. Christ paid the price for our sins, yet those who swore oaths under God's provisions are persecuting Christians, where accusations and false labels have been repeatedly thrown our way by those seeking to protect their greed and evil schemes. It's expected for non-believers to act wickedly, but those who take an oath under God should know better. That's why no Christian can pardon state officials who took an oath separate from the church, but under the same one true God. I don't believe in irony or karma. I believe in God's timing. Everything happens for a reason, and even when bad things occur, there's always a lesson or purpose behind it. This conclusion is not made lightly. When I turned to the church for counsel with the situation I was going through, they turned their backs. Protestant and Catholic leaders chose to worship state-made idols, heroes, and military protection. After I saw the negligence and mockery up close and personal, I left their establishment shaking the dust from my feet. So, while non-believers and believers alike rely on fate, I know their fate is sealed if they don't change. I'm not trying to attract bees with sweet honey. I'm here to speak the truth. Lastly, let's look at Proverbs 17:13. Evil will never leave the house of one who pays back evil for good. I won't sugarcoat it. I'm not appeasing evil in my house. So if my words convict you, take it up with God in heaven, because it's Him and His Son who I honor in this world. Thank you for viewing, and remember, the choices we make always have a rippling effect. So make the right decision if you wrong somebody.
I know you feel this movement right here. You just be I've been reaching for some